first, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Hello, everyone. This is Fox 12 Now. I'm Greg Nibbler. Thank you very much for joining us. We're live streaming here out of the Fox 12 Oregon newsroom. We do this every weekday. We start at 1 o'clock. We go throughout the afternoon, and we get to have, as part of this, one thing anyway, longer form discussions and segments about important topics. Mental health and mental health awareness is absolutely something we've brought up here before. And if you think about it around this time of year, especially, it comes to light. But it's a full year thing to think about for people going through that. And maybe you are. There's a lot of people out there who are. And there is a person who we are going to be joined with here in just a moment. Alex Bradley, as you can see the hands behind me there, as we're here live in the newsroom. He is out on the road somewhere. We're going to find out exactly where, because he is walking 2,500 miles from Austin, Texas to Oregon City, Oregon, in honor of mental health awareness and a lot more than that. So let's just bring him on right now. We've got Alex with us. And Alex, hello. Good to have you here.
How's it going?
Doing good. Good to have you here on the show. You know, I want to start off, I want to get into the whole story of why you're doing this, why you're walking 2,500 miles. But before we do that, can you tell us, where are you at right now?
So I am at, and I can see the sign right here, so it makes it easy. I am at the Lava Beds National Monument in California, just underneath the border from Klamath Falls.
So you are
at the visitor center.
At the visitor center. So at the visitor center there in Northern California, real close to Oregon, to cross over there. But that means you have been walking for a long, long ways to get to this point, even, let alone the rest. So let's start off with the story here. What is it that is inspiring you to walk 2,500 miles in honor of mental health and mental health awareness?
Well, at the end of the day, I've been through my own struggles, but it all started because back in 2021, I was going through something in my life, and I had a friend call me. His name was AJ. He's one of my friends since the 9th grade. And we talked about everything under the sun except for something important, that he wasn't feeling okay. That next day, I woke up to 2 messages, one from his mom and one from my friend Cole, said AJ's gone and AJ killed himself. And, I was one of the last people to talk to him. And I wondered, if we could have gone on a walk, what could have happened? Not that anything would have changed, but if we could have gotten another 24 hours, another 10 minutes, that's all that matters on the planet. And anything else that we talked about before that didn't. And, as years went by, I was thinking about always going to see those last steps to honor them. And I had my own struggles in my life where I felt like I wanted to take my last step. And I was able to call a friend and go on a walk. And I got that 24 hours. And then I showed up at a gym and I got that 24 hours. And then I knew, just by doing the little mundane, miraculous things in life, like going on a walk, interacting with nature, being a part of a community that you're vulnerable with yourself and others with, and you have a purpose that can change as you do, life gets pretty freaking great. And if I can go from 24 hours of almost wanting to end it all, and I can have a friend's story stop me in my tracks, and I can take steps, I can show people that if you can initiate movement, you have no idea the beauty that's on the other side of a step. And this is just a walk. So I found a way to walk 2,560 miles through thick and thin. If the roads break down, or if the car breaks down, or if my feet get bruised, there's always a way to find a smile if my perspective is right, and I can honor my friend in this walk. And it started August 31st. And we're 86 days in, and I haven't broken down yet.
That's incredible. So sorry for the loss of your friend, and for everybody out there who's gone through that. This walk, though, I mean, that's pretty amazing. So walking 80, you said 86 days so far?
It's been 86. The day is 86
or
87.
Today
87,
being
let's go.
87. No matter what it is, it's a lot of
Right.
that's a long number of days. So let me ask you, just from a physical standpoint, to be able to walk that long, what are some of the things you've had to do to prepare yourself to be able to do this?
Well, there are a lot of blessings that a lot of people call injuries that I went through when I was younger. I blew out a lot of, I blew out my ankle, blew out my knee, had some surgeries. Had some back injuries. All those things taught me the beauty of movement. And I became a physical therapist assistant and a trainer. And my whole goal in life is to help people move as well as possible, as long as possible, with the least amount of pain, highest level of function. And this is a beautiful platform to do so. So really, I didn't know how to start with all that knowledge and all that wisdom. So I just started walking around the gym with my friends. And I said on Instagram, anybody who wants to walk, and I'd walk till the sun went down. And eventually I got used to 40,000 steps. And then it's as simple as I just found mailboxes and I'd walk to it. And every time I think I can't, I take a breath or two and I go, I probably can. Or I have a conversation at a gas station that gives me way more energy than a monster ever could. And just drinking a lot of water. There's nothing special other than being able to endure and realize it probably won't break you.
Probably, but
Yeah,
that's.
you know.
I mean, there's no guarantees for anything, but that's incredible. So, how many miles per day do you average?
So it would start out, the goal was around 26 to 32. This last bit, we're trying to hammer down and get about 30 or more a day, which is pretty tough. But there's been days where I get around 17 and 10. The most humbling thing about this, with it being mental health, is I've had to add in a rest day about every 25 days where I just sleep for 14 to 15 hours. But yeah, it's usually about 20 to 30 miles a day right now, and we're still on track to kind of finish, but it takes so long sometimes.
No kidding. That's a long distance. I mean, and I imagine you've encountered all kinds of different weather. Starting off at that time in Texas, I would think
Oh
that
my
would be
gosh.
pretty warm and hot.
Yes.
And now you're
yes,
heading
we
up
went-
into Oregon during the winter.
Yeah. So this morning it was 20 degrees and then rose up to whatever it is right now. I would consider it a little warmer as I cross my arms. When we started, we were in 112-degree weather, and I love this van so much. But we had an AC that fought harder than I did in the heat, and it would get down to like 87 or so. And I don't sleep well in 87. And then you get up and do it again and keep running. And I just waited for days to get as cold as this, because at least I can sleep well. And we got a little power heater that we call Huey that heats us up pretty well. It's simple, but God, it makes you so grateful.
So you're just sleeping in the back of the vehicle right there.
Yeah, my mom had some Hilton and Marriott points, so she offered us 10 days at hotels various times, which my parents came out to visit me on day 50. But for the most part, we just either find a side of the road that has enough room for us to sleep at. A Love's gas station. Love's has sent us some stuff, and someone offered us free showers at the Love's. So any Love's gas station is like watching heaven's gates open.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that aspect of it. That's I would imagine. Got to get pretty comfortable. Well, since doing this so far, and I want to get to talking about the Oregon side of things too, and approaching here, but what's one of the biggest things that you've learned just from doing this walk so far?
I think one of the biggest things is there's a term that I used to be annoyed by, at least for me, and it was that there's the miraculous in the mundane. And that sounds so small, but like so many of us are looking for these magical miracles, the way to stop or transition in life. But really, the miracles in the mundane, in how you get up in the morning and how you take in the sunrise, and how, if you're patient enough and present enough, that conversation with that cashier will make you love like your family more than you ever thought you could. Or the wallet that you find on the side of a road could lead you to a great conversation with a beautiful old couple that gave you the whole money that you found in the wallet in the first place. There's so many moments that if you just allow yourself to be in awe of life, you don't have to love it all, but if you're in awe of life, the door's open, the conversations happen, the people are waiting to have that moment with you. And you don't need so much in the bank account in this world where we're looking for everybody to keep up with. If you're okay with just being, knowing that your breath is worth it because you have it, I really think this whole world will change. I've seen more miracles happen and more things happen not outside of the walk with a handshake and a smile from a stranger. And I think that's where this country needs to look. You can't vote a world differently, but you can act in your community and change the environment around everybody. We don't have to all agree, but damn if I haven't seen true love from individuals that don't have to show it, and that are arguably fighting harder than I ever will on this walk. So I think it's just, if you open your eyes, there's so much more that you can be a part of the change than acknowledging all the problems.
Well, traveling like this and encountering so many different people, I'm sure along the way as you make this walk, what are some different ways that people come out and greet you and maybe share their stories with you?
Well, one thing is the vehicle really points to everybody going, ooh, shiny big tire, big truck. And then all of a sudden it's about mental health, and it's about kind of the harder things to talk about. And not only mental health, but how do we stop self-sabotaging? I know thousands of men and women that would take a bullet for their family, but not many of them would live a healthy and quality life in front of all of them and set the example. And that's a part of taking care of your mental health. And so you open these doors to have these conversations with a big vehicle, with a walk across a random road. And I think just ways that people show up is, A, they share their story. You realize that it is something that's important, that they have individuals within a year to 10 years that they've seen lose 3 to 4 people in their lives. And if we can just open up that conversation to be more readily available and point at what happens that causes people to feel so isolated and make those decisions, I think that's beautiful. So just to hear a real life handshake, a hug, a moment where they get to feel the loss of their brother or their uncle or anybody, people help me realize that these aren't just stats, that these are stories. And once we tell enough stories, I don't know if I can cuss on here, but people give a crap. And that's what matters more than anything else.
You're getting here now into this section of the journey. Ostensibly, I guess the last part of it ish.
Yeah.
Coming up here, you're getting ready to come into Oregon. How are you feeling about doing that, and what are you looking forward to coming up here into the state?
Well, people said that my breath is going to be taken away as I get into Oregon, so I'm beyond excited about that. Just to see the weather and just to be I'm almost in the last 2 weeks. I mean, it's very exciting just to see that finish line and, to honor my friend's last steps. I'm going to be able to literally be at the last step that he took and be able to just come to close with this entire walk. I'm going to have family there. I'm going to have his mom there, and I'm just going to see like, what was he looking at? And what have a lot of people looked at? And then also like almost taking in this entire part of the country, so many different lives that I've seen live different ways. And also, small thing is I've never seen the coast in Oregon. So I want to go look at the coast and just be able to fully be in awe at the fact that I took a step that I didn't know how to do or if I could, and I did. So I just think it's going to be awesome and super human.
Amazing. Alex, for people out there who want to follow along with what you're doing and meet up with you at any of these places along the way, come see you, how can they do that?
So most actively, we are on Instagram. There is TikTok. Social media isn't my strong suit, but authenticity is. But if you reach out to us on those DMs, the Next Step Movement and Walking with AB. Those are the 2 Instagram handles, and we're pretty quick to respond to those. There's a GoFundMe, wrong finger. There's a GoFundMe over there, and we have our website called thenextstepmovement.com that has a story and a quick video just kind of talks about AJ and I and how it's important to carry those that we've lost. Maybe not just what happened, but the lives and the light that they gave us to carry. So, and if you want to walk, I am down to walk with anybody and everybody. It helps me not think about walking the last 400 miles. So
A little conversation goes a long ways.
Exactly.
Well, Alex, thank you for having time to talk to us, in the middle of all this, and just congratulations on Being here, you've made it here so far. I think I probably would have done it reverse weather-wise, but everybody chooses their own path. But there was a reason you're doing it this way, and it's just amazing that you're doing this and bringing awareness to something that is so important for so many people. I mean, mental health awareness is very, very important, and you're out there walking the walk. So thank you so much for joining us, and being here and joining us here on Fox 12 Now. And best of luck, and maybe we'll catch up with you here when you make it up to Oregon City.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Greg. I will see you sooner than you think.
All right,
Good luck out
Alex.
there.
Thanks, man. And for everybody watching, this is Fox 12 Now. We appreciate it. We're live streaming here. We're going to go ahead and sign off, but don't forget we've got plenty of segments and interviews and different conversations you can find there on the Fox 12 Oregon app, or maybe you're on YouTube or the website. All those are good places. I do recommend the apps because they have the most on there. But thanks for being here, and we'll